Already, you are looking live at sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Green Bay Packers. And why are the Green Bay Packers 0-16? Because they suck. The Eagles suck too. Eagles suck. They got blown out of their own place by 23 points. Philadelphia Eagles suck. Rolls right off the tongue there, folks. Philadelphia sucks. Oh, welcome to the Gridiron. Hold on, give me a second. I'll move the chair for my buddy right here. Come on, buddy. All right. Up. Hold. There we go. All right, we can begin. Randy's here. He's freaking too much. Anybody at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw it in the chat box. I should try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. But plus also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might want to be, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. And then finally, also, a little farther down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. And the other one just below it, it's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter to me anyway. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. 7 trillion years from now, it'll be Twitter. It's Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm not calling it. It's Twitter. I got a Twitter account. I used to try to put some stuff in there every day, Giants related, of course. So if you follow me, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. Then the link just above it, it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 7,200 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group every day, darn near 365. And if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in here, but the members post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. New York Giants, the Gridiron, please become a member. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right, well, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. Well, I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. I am a little shocked. Coach didn't have to reveal anything, and very, very uncoach-like, undable-like. I mean, spilling the beans. See, they didn't have to do it. Really did not have to do it. But they asked him, his quarterback, who's going to be starting quarterback. He said, Tommy DeVito would be starting. And I was like, wow. I mean, usually, right? With him, it's like, usually he's kind of like a little mum's the word on it. You know what I mean? Little mum's the word on it. I mean, especially, obviously with injuries, that's he usually, he kind of like, yeah, how's so-and-so doing? Oh, getting better. All right. Yeah, doing it, obviously if they ask, he doesn't, there's no BSing around or whatever, is he practicing today? And he'll have a list and they'll maybe go over the list. So not practicing, he's straight on with that. There's no, if there's injuries, it's a knee. Well, what's it going on? It's a knee. Yeah, I mean, even with Shane asked, I think it was Jordan Renan asked Shane with Daniel Jones with the knee. Was it just the ACL? They find anything else going on in there? Or what's going? I mean, anything to try to blow other stuff out of proportion and everything like that. Shane's like, yep, it's a knee. But I mean, usually likes to string stuff out, but easily could have said, well, we're going to, work some stuff out. We're going to have some, talk about it and, see how things work themselves out. And we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? Like with the starting quarterback, he said, Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan. Hey, right? He's the starter. Tyrod seemed to be a little bit disappointed. I guess I can understand that. There's the good. I mean, you can go either way on this one. You know what I mean? You can go either way. There's pros for Tyrod. He's the seasoned veteran. He's been with the system now for 2 years. He's the backup. So now, for some reason, he's almost got to feel like a, like a fourth string quarterback. Now he's the backup to the third string quarterback. So it's kind of, so I if I was him, I would be disappointed, obviously. I'm saying he's the backup quarterback. And I said, you can easily make a case for him. I think, the thing that's worse with him would be injuries, right? I mean, he's, I'm so happy he's our backup quarterback. I'm so happy he's on our team. Don't get me wrong, but he's just an injury waiting to happen. What happened last year? He got injured. What happened this year? He got injured. Right? And he's not like he played 14 and a half games, and then in the last drive of the 14th game, he got injured. I know. I mean, he can't even make it through 14 quarters without being injured. I mean, but he's calm, he's cool, right? Maybe with Tommy DeVito, Tommy's got, he doesn't really maybe have the lows or not like that, but he brings some excitement and all of that, right? He's got the, all that stuff. He gets the guys maybe a little more riled up, but, Tyrod's more, calm, cool, collected. He's kind of even, even keeled. They said this is his second season with this, with the plays, with this offense. He's had more time throwing to some of these receivers. He's familiar with it's just, he's had a lot more experience. He doesn't he makes faster decisions. He's good with the ball. He's still good with the ball, right? Tommy's got to learn, now that's one of those things, right? Because there's just that fine line, if you want to call it, right? Where you got the quarter, whatever. You got maybe, 4? You just got 4 levels of, you can, however you want to do it. You got just like total trash quarterbacks, just trash, right? Then you got guys that are just, will never in a million years become the number one. But, they can function. You know what I mean? They can get in there and they can function. They can maybe complete some passes and stuff like that. But there's absolutely no way in God's green earth they're going to take it to a Super Bowl. Then you get to the other guy. You know what I mean? But there's that little line or whatever. Can you get above that line? You got to make those decisions. You got to make those correct decisions. Can you? You know what I mean? You dropping back the pass. I mean, nowadays it's don't get me wrong, it's always been difficult. But I mean, nowadays, with the way the passing offense, it's that's why these guys make this money. But not everybody can. You either got it, I guess maybe a few working at it can get maybe to not the Patrick Mahomes or whatever, right? But some of them working at it, maybe can kind of get to the upper level. But nowadays with the, you got to, with releasing the ball, you got so many guys, out in the patterns. You got guys that can run multiple patterns on the same play. And not only that, but you're trying to read the defense. You don't know who's coming, who's going. This, it's like, it's really, really tough. So can he, he's holding on to the ball too much. Is there a point in time where, maybe he can, get a little, get a little faster, a little bit better? With that, I mean, a lot of it's you're gonna need live bullets. I mean, it's not like, well, he's struggling in the, don't get me wrong, he hasn't really done horrible. He hasn't. At Howard Cross put it, and this is an excellent way of putting it. The Giants may not have won because of Tommy DeVito, but you don't want Tommy DeVito to be the reason why they lost the game, right? Like when they beat the Patriots 10-7, basically they didn't win because of Tommy. It wasn't like, man, dude, holy crap, he's 27 out of 32, 386 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interception. He put the team on his back. He's like, guys, we need a touchdown. We're going this way, guys. We're going in for 7. Going in for 7, and we're winning it, baby. Get on my back. That didn't happen. If it wasn't for the turnovers, we might have thrown a goose egg. Right, I think the longest drive we had, was like 7 plays. Are you kidding me? The longest, Patriots pass defense is pretty good, middle of the pack. Their run defense is very, very good, and of course you have Bill Belichick, the defensive mastermind there. So, but I mean, if you came to score, well, I mean, look at this. I mean, they held the Chargers to 6 points. They lost. They held the Giants to 10 points. They lost. They held the Colts to 10 points. They lost. Right. So the defense is pretty good. Pretty good. Right. But I mean, it's not like Tommy was walking the team up and down the field. That didn't happen. But we're not losing it because of him. It's not like, he threw 3 interceptions. One got run back for a touchdown. The other one, we were in the red zone. He threw an interception in the end zone there, and the other one set up a field goal for the pay. Yeah, so he get, wasn't like that. So he's doing a very, very good job at. He's very when he throws the ball, accurate. He's trying to, I guess, not be the reason why we lose the game. I mean, I guess in the long run, you would rather maybe take a sack, which would lead to maybe a punt. Instead of trying to needle something in there or whatever, carelessly throw something and throw an interception. Right. So he's done very good as far as protecting the ball. Now, I think, let me see here. Was it the last 3? Let me see here. Oh, I got it here somewhere. I promise. I know I'm stupid, but here we go. Was it the last 3 games we have 2 turnovers? Yeah. Right. So, I mean, you look at it, right? I mean, against the Cowboys, we had 1 turnover. Against the Patriots, we had 1 turnover, right? So, so we the past 3 games, we've had 2 turnovers. So, I mean, so I said, you can make cases both ways. I mean, we scored 17 points against the Cowboys. We got blown out by 848 points. We shouldn't have been on the field with them. We're not in their class, blah, 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 all that stuff. I get it. However, we scored 17 points. Which was how many more points than the first time we played in this season? 17 more points, right? Would have things been maybe a little bit different if we didn't get the block field goal, run back for a touchdown? Maybe. We might have lost 40-3 then. Or 34-3. They took the 7 points, 6 points off the ball, whatever. You know what I mean? So. But we were hurt in the first game, and we were home. We're all pumped up. First game of the season. Let's go. Let's beat the Cowboys. We got them, and we get shut out. So here we go into Dallas, where they haven't lost since Jesus Christ walked the earth. They're putting up all kinds of points. They put 640 yards of offense, which is absolutely pathetic. right? Put up almost a 50 burger on the Giants, which is once again absolutely pathetic. However, we scored 17 points, right? So that's not bad. That was Tommy Chicken Cutlets, right? We got 6 turnovers against the Commanders, which obviously helped immensely to the 31 points. I had a big blue kickoff line. John Schmelk said the Giants have not scored 20 points this season in any game. And that scored 20 to 29 points this season in any one game. They've either scored under 20 points or they scored 2 games that had over 30 points. So the 31 points. Commanders and the Cardinals. We haven't scored 20. I mean, we've played 12 games and we haven't scored 20 points. The 2 of them we scored 31. But I mean, you know how unbelievably pathetic that is, right? I said, but we scored we had the 31 against the Commanders, but I mean, let's not forget the 6 turnovers were huge. Then again, as I said, the 10 points that we got pretty much against the Patriots were due to turnovers. That we weren't walking anybody up and down the field offensively, right? I said, but you can go both ways. I said, Tyrod's contract is up after this season. Okay, it would really be nice to see what Tommy can do, even if he's not going to be the starting quarterback. It's kind of a stretch. Maybe he gets a little bit better. Hey, who knows? But the only way he's going to get better is with live bullets on the sideline with the clipboard, drinking Kool-Aid, writing down plays, charting plays. Then ain't going to, that help. I mean, that's not going to help him on the field. Live bullets is going to help him. So I mean, to see, can he be our backup quarterback going forward? Right. I mean, as I said, you look at it like, our offensive line is absolutely horrible. We don't have no big, Waller's not there. We don't have, we got Hyatt, right? But, we don't have a dog of a wide receiver, so if we oops, sorry, buddy. I try to move my legs sometimes. Get my buddy down here. So, if we give him some better weapons. Also, I think Howard Cross was talking about this, though, and obviously he's, man knows who he's talking about. He was talking about the running game. When Daniel Jones is in there, okay, Daniel Jones is a threat to run. So, when you turn around and you go, and just because you're looking like you're going to hand the ball to Saquon, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to, right? DJ could keep it, maybe throw it, keep it, and run it, right? Then the other defenses aren't so worried as much with Tommy Chicken Cutlets or with Tyrod. I mean, they both can run, right? But I think DJ's a little bit more of a threat. So I think having DJ, a healthy DJ back there, right, with Saquon, opens the running game up a little bit more. Also having Saquon with maybe Daniel Jones, the play action pass opens stuff up, right? Because the thing is now, I mean, you got 2 guys back there, threat to run the ball. I mean, Daniel's a hell of an athlete. He's fast, right? You've seen him, right? I mean, of course, the turf monster got him the one time against the Eagles. He ran, 60, 70 yards? Of course, unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, nobody caught him. There was nobody on that Eagle team. Pack of low-life losers that they are. We're going to catch them. Ain't nobody catching them. The grass had to catch them. But, I'm saying, but like the play-action pass, right? Because when you got Daniel, who can be a threat to run as he was last year, not so much this year, but last year, and when you got Saquon back there, that's that play action. That's then that helps set up the pass, right? So I said, I mean, there's a lot. I said, Tyrod's probably not going to be back next season. He's probably also saying to himself, man, they just screwed me over, man. I should be the backup. I should be in there. I should be starting. Yeah, I'm not. Well, yeah, whether they ask me or not, I'm not coming back there. Yeah, so. But, it's been nice to see what Tommy can do. He's kind of got the hot hand, if you want to call it that. But, I mean, you can also look at like with Tyrod, right? We scored 9 points against the Bills. Now, should have been more if he didn't make the boneheaded call at the end of the first half when we ran out of time. We should have at least kicked the field goal. Or if he did call a pass, maybe you complete the pass. Maybe we get a touchdown, right? So maybe we get 7 or maybe we get a field goal, right? And then at the end of the game, he drove us down the field, right? We got, we had to get a touchdown, right? Of course, Waller, the see no foul referee was there. Yeah, I didn't see none. No, that was a good defensive play, right? But I'm saying, maybe at the end of the game, maybe we just needed a field goal. He did drive us down there, right? But in the end, we scored 9 points. 9 points. Not winning many football games at 9 points. We would have won last week 9-7, but for the most part, you're not going to win a football game 9-7 with just 9 points. Then the following week after that, things will look. We scored 14 points in the first half. All right, baby, here we go. 14 and 14. I'm not a mathematical genius, but that's 28. I'll take 28 points, even 24. Give me 24 points, okay? Couldn't score a point in the second half. Right. I mean, watch him have, so defense, but I mean, we couldn't score a point, so I mean, Tyrod was in there for 2 games. We scored a grand total of 23 points. That's 11.5 points a game. All right. Tommy Chicken Cutlets was in there, played 17 against the Cowboys, right? 31 against the Commanders. That's 48 and 10 last year. It's 58 points. So that's almost 20 points a game he's averaging. Of course, a lot of it's got to do with a lot of it. It's got to do with the turnovers. The 6 against the Commanders and the 10 against the Patriots. But still, he's still averaging more points per game than with Tyrod in there. So it is what it is. As I said, if worse comes to worse, right? We know he's doing decent. It's going to be a tough challenge because, on Big Blue Kickoff Live also, Green Bay's won the last 16 games they played December. They haven't lost a game in December since 2019. Not in January, December, the month of December. Packers have not lost a game since 2019 in December. Right, so it's gonna be a tough challenge. I mean, obviously, they did very good against the Lions on Thanksgiving, but I mean, the Lions had some turnovers there. That was that's what did them in. Okay, but give Packers all the credit in the world. They went in Detroit, they won, all the credit in the world, and then what they did with the Chiefs. Right, so you got to give the Packers a lot of credit, really looking pretty decent. I mean, they're right in there in that hunt for the for wild card spot. So you got to give them a lot of credit. So, but I guess as I said, you could have gone either way. I mean, there's good for Tyrod in there, and there's good for Tommy DeVito. I said either way, I would have been fine. I said at least this way with Tommy. He's got the hand. He's still he's I don't want to say the hot hand, but he's doing well. Okay. And I said if he winds up playing, if he makes it in one piece through these next 5 games, right? That means that it'll be like 8 full. He played almost half the season, okay, as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And next season, I said Daniel Jones, when he's healthy, is quarterback number 1. Tommy might be quarterback number 2. You don't know. Shane said in his presser last Monday, definitely got to address the quarterback situation, whether in free agency or in the draft. So we're not, you're not sure. Obviously, got a ways to go. What do we got? January, February, March, April. We got 4.5 months or so before the draft. Oh, I'm free agency too. I'm not sure if there's anybody in free agency. I don't even know. I'm not even going to go there. But I mean, like I'm talking about maybe like in the draft. So we got 4.5 months. We'll find out, what's going on. Especially because we're not exactly sure where the Giants are going to be drafting at. But I mean, the Giants certainly in the first round or second round, 2 second round, but could certainly draft a quarterback without question. But so you're not exactly sure where Shane is. You don't know what they're thinking. right? But he did say we're going to have to address the situation because you're not exactly sure when Daniel Jones is going to be healthy. Will he be healthy for week 1, week 3, week 4? You don't know. So if that's the case, right, maybe Tommy's the starter for week 1, right? Well, who's the backup, right? And right? But I mean, say Daniel Jones can't. I'm just saying. I don't even know. Say Daniel Jones can't go to week 5. Well, you got Tommy, and then you need 2 other quarterbacks, right? Because Daniel Jones. So you'll need somebody on the practice squad when Daniel Jones comes back. That quarterback is gone, right? But you need somebody behind Tommy DeVito. So who's that going to be, right? So as I said, once it's going to be somebody in the draft. We'll have to wait and see. But I like this. It's got some merit to it. As I said, either way, it'd be fine with me. I said if they put Tyrod in there, Tyrod. I don't know. I like Tyrod. He's a good control of the offense. I said he just gets injured too much. But I think I like his passing. It seems like he's like maybe a little bit better. Some mid-range stuff. I think he does a little bit better job right now than what Tommy does. See, Tommy's either short or maybe hitting Jaylen down the sideline long, right? But I said, either way. But I mean, I said, if Tommy plays the next 5 games, if he's the starter, that would be 8 games he's played in the NFL. That's invaluable experience for him. Invaluable, right? And I said, does not make him. I'm not saying he's going to be a starter or anything like that, but that's invaluable experience he's getting, especially if he's going to be a backup, because then half the time, he's running for his life. Other times, he's holding on to the ball too long, but he's not putting the ball in harm's way, right? He's doing a very good job of that. I said, if we can ever get, and he brought this up too on Big Blue Kickoff Live that I can't remember what game it was, whatever. But I mean, one of the games that Tyrod was in there, right? He had Darren Waller. Tommy had that. He's got Hyatt down. But who's the dog? Who's the guy he drops back to pass on every? That you can just throw the ball every time to. We don't have that, right? At least when Tyrod was in there, I don't remember if it was all of the games that Tyrod was in or not, but he did have Waller in there, right? And if you can find Waller, just throw the ball about 14 feet in the air, and either he's coming down with it, or nobody's coming down with it, right? So Tommy's running around there. Who's he got, right? So maybe if we ever get this offensive line healthy and situated, right, it's going to make Tommy maybe a little bit better. We'll have to wait and see. But I think this is a very, very valuable situation. So I'm pulling for him. You hope for the best, right? You don't want him bombing. You don't want him doing horrible. But hey, you never know. You never know. As I said, it's the same thing. As I'm going to get into my last thing here. You just hope for the best, right? So I'll get that. I'll get to that in a moment here. In a moment. Let's see where we at here. Then, of course, we have Sexy and Neal being held out of practice. So, let's see here. The Giants had practice on Tuesday, and 2 of their key starters were held out of practice ahead of the next Monday game against the Packers. 2 starters that were held out, and we're not even talking about Waller. So the chances of him playing it looks like it's going to, it's kind of more and more remote, all the time. Because it doesn't even sound like, he's, going to be, available, unfortunately. So it is what it is. But of course, we got Evan Neal and Dexter Lawrence. They're out. Obviously, Evan Neal with his ankle, Sexy with his hamstring injury. And it's a shame because we could really use both. but especially also sexy in there, right? They both missed the 10-7 win against the Patriots. Neal has not been reliable at right tackle this season when he has been available, right? If for some reason Neal is available on Monday night against the Green Bay Packers, they need to make sure that Rashawn Gary is lining up against him. Gary can very well get 3 sacks against them. Giants fans think Neal needs to move the guard or be off the roster entirely because they already think he is a bust as a second-year player. As for Dexter, he is one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. You got that freaking right. We're so lucky we got that guy. So lucky we got that guy. The Packers should be fine against the Giants unless Dexter Lawrence wrecks Green Bay's offensive line. That's if he plays, because, let's not forget, a hamstring's a hamstring. The offensive line has been better during the Packers 3-game win streak, but Lawrence's presence should not be ignored if he's active. Sexy has 41 total tackles, 4 sacks, 2 pass deflections so far this season for the Giants. Lawrence has been double-teamed several times. Several? Yeah, sure about that? Just several? And usually never misses games due to injury. I think this is his first game he ever missed due to injury. As unbelievable as it is. That's the one thing you always got to give him a lot of credit for, right? Is, he's always been available. Always been available. You got to give the man a lot of credit. The one thing is that you always is that some of it's just kind of like, it's just like a little mind-boggling. It's like some guy, like Lawrence, like every play, he's getting like double teamed or, he's bull rushing and this. Every play he's getting, contact, and he's playing 50, 60 snaps every week in, week out, and he never misses a game. Then you get other guys that play a couple snaps and they got a hamstring injury. It's just simply amazing. Some of these guys who just can't stay healthy. But I think this is Dexter Lawrence's first game he ever missed. And just listening, I think it was Patty Trainer was talking about that. I think it was that. Yeah, he was pretty upset about not being able to play in there. So hopefully he'll be back. But I said those hamstrings, one of those things. You can, I think I can go. And you first couple times you just start running, after somebody, and there ain't no going back. You do something to it, it's like, oh man, jeez. Okay, I'll be out another month or so. And unfortunately, we're getting to the point of the season, right, where it's like, if he really aggravates it, and it's like, I'll probably be out a month. Well, I have to put you on IR. Right, bring somebody else in. So, but for the most part, they seem to be pretty healthy. Obviously, remember they had the bye week last year, and we're like, okay, well, we're going to get healthy, we're going to get better, and everybody will be good, huh? McKinney goes out there and screws up his hand in the bye week. Yeah. But apparently, everybody came back. Everybody was relatively healthy, right? So at least we're getting some guys back. We got the last 5 games of the season, but unfortunately, it might be a little too late, right? The injuries, and there's a couple of the Jet game and the Buffalo game. Man, if we're 6-6, we have a chance. Because the Packers is a winnable game. I'm not saying we're going to win it. The Saints, especially if they don't have Carr in there as quarterback, that could be a winnable game. The Rams, they're mediocre, right? That's a winnable game. I'm not so sure about the Eagle game, but what's up, Joe? How you been doing, man? Yeah, I'm doing good. Hey, man. Hey, I needed your Seahawks to beat the Cowboys, but at least you can make up for it, right? You can beat the Eagles, right? That would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So, what we got? Yeah, I know, but at least the Eagle game, right? Well, that's being Seattle, so that's good, right? Your defense is, I don't know if we jinxed you. We traded Leonard Williams to you, and we jinxed you, or exactly what? I mean, but your offense is, good. Good. I mean, you guys sure against the Eagles you should put up some points, right? Can you slow the Eagles down enough? That's the question, right? Seems to be that way. Yeah, that's the question. Can you slow the Eagles down enough? Because that game for Philadelphia is going to be huge. Because the Eagles got the final 3 games. The offense is not until that game. Well, they did good against the Cowboys. But the last 3 games for the Eagles are almost like they're like bye weeks for the Eagles. They got 2 games against the Giants, and they got to play the Cardinals. So that's like just chalk up 3 wins for the Eagles there, right? But the next 2, they got to play the Cowboys, and then they got to play the Hawks. They're both on the road. So those are 2 huge games, especially in the NFC East there. Huge. The Cowboys got 3 tough ones. Cowboys got the Eagles. Then they had the Lions. And then my son and I were going to be in Miami. The Cowboys are going to be playing the Dolphins in Miami. So that's going to be a huge game. So the Cowboys got 3 tough games, and the Eagles got 2. So that the one against the Seahawks is going to be tough because the Cowboys and Eagles are playing each other this weekend. So if the Cowboys win, they'll both be 9-3, right? They'll be, I'm not sure who would still be number 1 up, but they'll both be 9-3 with 4 games left. So that game there, I know every Cowboy fan in Kingdom Come will be voting for the Seahawks. That's for sure. You guys feel like there's a chance you move off of Jones next season? Nah. Now Shane said, our GM said, if he's healthy, he's our starting quarterback next season. Now we're going to have to get somebody else because our backup Tyrod Taylor, his contract's over, so it doesn't seem like we're going to be bringing him back. We got Tommy DeVito, our 3rd string quarterback, who's been playing for us. He's doing okay, but so we got Tommy DeVito and we got Daniel Jones, but we don't know when Daniel Jones will be ready. Will he be ready week 1? He's certainly going to try. But Joe Shane had a press conference, and he said, I don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know when Daniel Jones will be ready, right? But Joe Shane did say that we're going to have to address the quarterback situation either in free agency or in the draft because we only have 2 quarterbacks. Because it doesn't sound like we're bringing Tyrod Taylor back, our backup quarterback. So we're going to have Daniel Jones, we're going to have Tommy DeVito, and you've got to have somebody else. So we're going to do something else. We're going to get a quarterback. Whether it's top 10 pick in the draft, maybe we get somebody in the 2nd round. Maybe we get something like a backup in free agency or something like that. But he did say when Daniel Jones, and when he's healthy, he's our quarterback. We can't get rid of him next season because we owe him like $40 million or so, over 40, I think it is. If the next season we can let him go, it'd be like a $20 million dead cap hit, 22 million, something like that. So it would have to take a big hit, but we could, after next season, we could get rid of him. But he's our quarterback next year. And that rubs me the wrong way. Well, I mean, yes, that would piss me off too. Plus, he's not losing us ball games. He's a 3rd string quarterback, and he's not losing us ball games, which is huge because you got a 3rd string quarterback in there throwing interceptions, throwing another interception, a pick 6. So he's not doing that. But he's not like marching us up and down the field. He doesn't have 350 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and so when we score 1 touchdown, we scored 1 touchdown last week against the Patriots. He's going, oh, yes, hey, it's like, but it has us all of us Giant fans are all excited. So, but that would kind of piss me off if I wasn't a Giant fan. So we kind of got like Tommy DeVito mania kind of going on here now. Will Saquon be back? Well, that's the good thing. We don't know. Don't know. The Giants could franchise tag him again. That wouldn't make him happy because he wants some long-term security. He probably wants at least a 3-year deal. You don't know what Shane has in mind. We might franchise tag him again. But the thing is, he's almost like our best offensive weapon, especially in the backfield. So I mean, so if you let him go, right? I mean, we have all the running backs, but we don't have anybody that's quite as effective as Saquon is. Then we got Darren Waller, who's our tight end, right? But he's a hamstring injury waiting to happen. He's been out for 3 or 4 weeks now. So I don't even know if he'll be back this Monday. He's been on IR. We don't even know if he'll even be back. We don't even know if he'll be back the rest of the season. So we really don't have any big-time weapons. We got Jalen Hyatt, who we drafted in the 3rd round. He's been catching some deep balls, which is cool. But we don't have a dog. We don't have a Metcalf or somebody like that. Somebody you can just throw the ball to 10, 12 times a game. We don't have that, right? We don't have anybody, really scares you, not like that. So I mean, if they let Saquon go, that's another weapon that we just lost. So whether they franchise tag him or, they'll offer him something, if worse comes to worse, I said, if they throw a deal out there and he's not happy with it, they can just franchise tag him again. But next year, the franchise tag, I think, is like $12 million. So this year was like 10.1. I think next year will be like 12, whatever, 12.2 or something like that. So they could just keep franchise tagging him. Every time they franchise tag him, the price just keeps going up and up and up. He gets older, and they got to pay him more and more and more. So we'll have to wait and see. But I know Shane didn't want to trade him. When the trade deadline came and everything, he didn't want it because he was saying he's like our best offensive weapon. So why you get rid of him and boy, man, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So, but so you guys got a tough game this week, right? You got the 49ers again, right? And then you got the Eagles. Who else you got? The Eagles. Let me see here. Yep, on here. Let me pop this up here. Yeah, you guys got a NFL standings. Here we go. All right, you guys. Yes, there's some big games for you guys coming up here. You guys got the 49ers, the Eagles, the Titans. Okay, that's a winnable one. You got the Steelers. That's a winnable one at home. And you got the Cardinals. So these next 2 games for you will be pretty tough. The Cowboys. Yeah, Titans, Steelers, Cardinals. Yeah. So those last 3, they're winnable. Of course, you got to play them. You have to, any given Sunday. But these next 2 are tough ones for you. Tough ones. Especially, the 49ers. Boy, I tell you, I was so happy, man, when they beat the Eagles. Man, so happy. Actually, they killed the Cowboys and the Eagles. So that's what I got to look for. That's my Super Bowl, making sure the Cowboys and the Eagles don't get to the Super Bowl. Because if they don't get to the Super Bowl, they can't win a Super Bowl, right? So the only thing I got I kind of like look and see, well, who can knock the Eagles off? Who can beat the Cowboys? I mean, the Lions are pretty good. I don't know if they're, we'll find out. Because they got to play the Cowboys, so we'll find out there. But, it looks like the 49ers, especially if the 49ers can get the number 1 seed and everything goes through San Francisco, and if they can stay healthy, they look like the team to beat. So that's good because they beat the crap out of the Cowboys and the Eagles, right? And you figure that if San Fran gets the number 1 seed, right, they'll be playing somebody lower seeded. So that means that quite possibly, once again, this is if the 49ers get the number 1 seed, they won't face the Eagles or may not face the Eagles or the Cowboys. Maybe they might face them. If they did, it would maybe be in a championship game. So maybe somewhere along the line, the Eagles and the Cowboys would face off against one another, and one of those guys would knock one out, and then the 49ers would face the other one and maybe in the championship game if they to get that far. Once again, injuries happen, things happen, as we saw what happened last season with the 49ers, right? Also with the 49ers this season, they lost 3 games in a row, right? I think this McCaffrey got hurt, Williams got hurt, but they were doing a real good job against the Eagles. It was just like, okay, we're going to, you could tell it was, I don't want to say like night and day, but it was like, they called the run play, right? When they ran behind Williams, they got positive yards. It's just run behind Williams, run to the left, right? That guy's phenomenal. But when it seemed like then they ran to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they weren't as successful. But just goes to show you how injuries, huge. I mean, still got some games left to play. Anything can happen. I mean, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, he's been getting a little banged up, so you're not sure if everybody's going to make it through the playoff. You don't know. You have to wait and see. But it's going to be interesting the last few weeks. Interesting. Even the Giants still even have a chance of making the playoffs. Right? Very, very slim chance. Because basically we're like 3 games behind you guys because we're 2 games behind you guys, and then you guys got the head-to-head on us. So, but we got to play the Packers, we got to play the Rams, we got to play the Saints, and then we got almost 2 guaranteed losses against the Eagles. So, you look at the 2 games we're probably going to lose against the Eagles, that's 10 losses right there. Are we going to get into the wild card at 7-10? Kind of doubt it. Well, I'm saying, because if you look, there's nobody has a winning record. There's only 4 teams with winning records. The Vikings are 6-6. The Packers are 6-6. You guys are 6-6. Is there 4? Well, hold on. Is there 4 teams? Only 4 teams got winning records. The Lions, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the 49ers. Nobody else got a win. NFC South, nobody's got a winning record there. I think they're like 5-7 or. Oh, I just had the standings up here. Yeah, the Giants are 4-8, Commanders are 4-9, Rams and Seahawks are both 6-6. So you guys 4 teams are 6-6, and the Falcons are 6-6, but they're winning their division. So as far as anybody in the wild card, nobody has a winning record with the wild card. There's 4 teams that are 6-6. So you know what I mean? The Bucks are 5-7, the Saints are 5-7, the Packers are 6-6, Vikings are 6-6, Rams are 6-6, Seahawks are 6-6, and the Cowboys are 9-3. So, the Giants mathematically, have a chance, but it's. The thing is that there's so many teams above them. You're like asking for almost all those teams above them to lose almost like every game that they got. But mathematically, we still have a chance. But, and realistically, it's, we don't. We don't. One thing would be nice would be maybe we could spoil the maybe like the Eagles season or something like that, because we play them 2 out of the last 3 games. But just our track record against the Eagles, they're such a good team. I said, unless they got a bunch of injuries in the next couple of games, I think we'd have a hard time actually thinking we're actually going to wind up beating them. But it would be fantastic if we can knock them off and maybe knock them out of first place or something like that, ruin their season a little bit. That would be fantastic. But they just beat us every time. So I'm not looking for us to get a win out of that. I'm hoping, but I don't expect anything good. All right. Oh, okay. I got a story here. I'm gonna go over the Giants. Syracuse is possibly talking about. They're targeting the Giants' Jeff Nixon, our running back coach, as possibly their next offensive coordinator. Be interesting to see. Now, if we wind up losing him, it's no huge, we just got him this season, right? You find somebody else. It's not the end of the world. It's not like an offensive coordinator. Or defensive coordinator or head coach or something like that. It is what it is, But that's from Giants Wire. It says, just when you think the Giants coaching staff became toxic and unhireable out of the football world, comes news that running backs coach Jeff Nixon is on the radar up in Syracuse, and they want him as, their offensive coordinator, which is obviously kind of kind of, well, I guess maybe not that weird because for the most part, his career, he's been a running back coach, head coach, running backs coach. Now, if you go, he goes all the way back to 1997 as a graduate assistant with Penn State, but then with Princeton, he was their running back coach in 98. Shippensburg, oh yeah, he was their running backs coach from 99 to 2002. Then Chattanooga, there you go, 2003 to 2005. He was a running back, tight ends, and special teams coach. 2006, he was the Temple running back and wide receiver coach. So that just goes to show you when you go into poorer schools who don't have the financial, like in Alabama can have 1,842,000 coaches, right? But when you go to a smaller school like Temple, who doesn't have a lot of money to throw around, that's when you got the running back / guard coach / punter coach / water boy coach. That's when he got like 9 titles, right? So when he's with Temple, he was the wide receiver and running back coach, right? Let's see. Then he was with the Eagles from 2007 to 2010. He was the offensive and special teams assistant coach. Then he was with the Dolphins from 2011 to 2015. He was their running back coach. Then with the 49ers in 2016, he was the tight end coach. Then he was with Baylor. So also, you look at it too. He doesn't stay anywhere more than like a year or two. So for him to be here for a year and gone, this is right down his alley. He hasn't spent any more than like 3-4 years at any one place. So for him to be, here 1 year and gone the next, it's right down. Never expect anything, from him long term. But he was with Baylor under Matt Rule, okay? And he was their co-offensive coordinator and running back coach at Baylor from 2017 to 2019. Then when Rule, right, that was the Judge and Rule era, right? 2020, right? When Rule went to the Panthers, he brought Nixon with him, and he was the running back coach. And in 2021, he was the running back coach and interim offensive coordinator. Then he was the assistant head coach, or the assistant offensive coach, head coach with the Panthers in 2022. And now he's with the Giants here as a running back coach in 2023. So he was never going to be here long term anyway. But he had some success while he was with Matt Rule at Baylor. As we see here, Nixon in 2017 became the co-offensive coordinator, play caller, and running back coach for the Baylor Bears under Matt Rule for the next 3 seasons. In 2018, Baylor averaged 460 yards in total offense, but 290 passing yards per game, and they ranked in the top 20 in the country in both total offense, and total passing. 2019, Nixon led the offense, averaged 36 points per game, which was 17th in the country, and helped guide Baylor to the top 10 rank and a Sugar Bowl berth where they got annihilated by the Georgia Bulldogs. But so he's called plays before, right? As I said, once again. Hi, you too, buddy. Thank you, Joe. Good talking to you, pal. Go Seahawks, man, especially when you're playing the Eagles. Go Hawks. I hope they kill them. Can't stand them. But there's a ton of running back coaches out there, obviously, right? You find somebody. It's not the end of the world. So without question, not the end of the world. And as I said, you look at his track record, and it's you never expected him to be here any length of time anyway. So it is what it is. So whether he's gone before the end of the season or whatever, it is what it is, right? All right, and then sort of say the Giants, they're kind of at a crossroad here. Well, it's kind of tough. As I said, obviously you have, what do you got? You have half the, half the Giants fan base, right, wants the Giants to tank for a draft pick. The other half want, well, for me, how I always look at it too is that, if your season is really going bad and everything, is, what do you have to build on for the next season, right? And perfect example, I mean, which it didn't turn out real well, but the Giants in 1976 started off 0-7. Bill Orange Parker, their coach, he got fired. Started off 0-7. Giants, brand new stadium, Giants Stadium, 1976. We started off 0-7. The seventh game, we lost 27-0 to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. We looked absolutely horrible to the defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we brought in John McKay. So we had 7 games left to go in the season, right? And the first 2 games we lost 10-0 to the Eagles, and we lost 9-3 to the Cowboys. Lost 2 tough games, right? But we started off 0-7, right? We finished the season 3-4. Gives you some hope for the following season. Same thing I'll go over in 2020 as well, too. So these are 2 seasons, but of course it didn't. Neither one material, right? But but when I was a kid, 1976, I was 12 years old. We started off, as I said, 0-7. It's like, I said, the last 7 games of the season, we were in almost like every game. We lost a couple again. We lost to the Cowboys in Dallas 9-3. Lost by 6 points. We lost to the Eagles 10-0. So we lost some close games. We could have won this, that, and the other thing. We still finished 3-4. Gave you kind of some hope for the next season. It didn't work out that way. We sucked in 1977. But then you also look at, say like 2020 when Joe Judge came in here. We started off. What did we start off? Was it 1-7? 1-7? Yeah, we started off 1-7. All right, so it's like, oh my God. Oh, man. We finished 5-3. Last 8 games, we were 5-3. We finished 6-10. Now, what does that do? I mean, we almost made the playoffs. I mean, it is what it is. But what did that do? It gives you hope for the next season. I mean, things, start, turning around, or maybe the coach's way, the play call, and we started coming on. One of the games we went into Seattle against Russell Wilson. We beat them 17-12 with a backup quarterback. Saquon wasn't in there. Dwayne Train Gallman had over 100 yards rushing. Colt McCoy, right, led the team to victory in Seattle. We're like, damn, maybe we might be all right. All right. We finished 5-3. It didn't work out in 2021, obviously, but gave you hope for the next season. Can you finish strong? We won 2 games, right? We got 5 to go. Out of these next 5, can you win 3? It may not be the easiest thing, but can you win 3? Right? So that means you win, right? 2 in a row. If you win 3 and you lose the 2 to the Eagles, hey, we stunk, but we finished 5-2. All those injuries, we lost our starting quarterback 2 times during the regular season. We lost our backup quarterback. We had 7,000 different offensive line combinations in there. We had so many injuries, this, that, and the other thing. And we finished 5-2. Not too bad. All right. So I give you maybe some hope. Let's keep the rebuilding going. Let's add a couple more weapons. Maybe we can, right? Keep this train on the right track, right? So, I mean, as I said, so it's tough. It says the Giants are coming off their bye week and are on a 2-game winning streak as they prepare to host the Packers. Giants are currently 4-8 in third place in the NFC East, 1/2 game ahead of the last place Commanders, 5 games behind Dallas, and 6 full games behind the Eagles. Giants are in the 12th spot in the NFC, but are only 2 games out of the 7th wild card berth, the 7th spot overall, which would be for the final wild card berth. Which currently the Packers hold. In between the Giants and the Packers in the race of the Rams, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. 2 of those teams the Giants have to face. Now, but this is kind of weird. According to NFL research, the Giants hold the 6th overall selection in the 2024 draft. However, Tankathon has the Giants as the number 7th pick. Go figure. But anyway, we have at least pick number 6 or 7, right? The schedule the rest of the way for the Giants is not easy. They got the Eagles twice, the Packers, the Rams, and New Orleans. Of that group, only the Saints have a losing record. But then again, it's a little deceiving because only the Eagles have a winning record. Packers are 6-6. The Rams are 6-6. Okay, fans are torn on what to root for the rest of the way. It's tough. It is. The Giants will obviously be better at the draft position by losing, but they're not playing to lose. They are not playing to lose, right? But if they continue to surge, they just might close out the season on a high note. And dare we say, challenge for playoff berth. Yeah, I mean, challenge for playoff berth. I'd have a hard time believing that for any way at all, any way at all, that they're going to make the playoffs. Guys, because there's so many teams above them, right? That they have to basically just kind of hope that those teams just fall apart. And it's not like the Giants have to play the Cardinals 5 straight times, right? Every team they play in, right, only one of them has a winning record, okay? But all the games are teams that are in playoff contention. It's not like they're playing the Cardinals and they're going to play the Carolina Panthers 4 times or something like that. Or it's not like we're playing the Commanders twice, the Panthers twice, and the Cardinals. Then you can see, maybe we win 5, maybe we might go 9-8, right? But, so, I mean, you can almost see possibly 2 Eagles losses, and then out of these next 3, you can, for the Giants to win all 3 of them, against the Packers, the Saints, and the Rams, I mean, you can certainly see a loss in there. So you can see where the Giants might go 2-3, which would be what? Or would that be 6-11? Quite possibly give them a top 10 pick, though, right? So it's tough. It's really, really tough. It's like, there's nothing you can do. It's not like, well, I'm just going to hope that we lose, and because I'm hoping we'll lose, because I'm hoping we'll lose. It's not happening. It doesn't matter what you hope. It doesn't, they're playing the game to win. There's nobody on that Giant sideline. You know what? Maybe we ought to tank. Maybe we ought to suck. Dable's not going on the sideline. I'm going to call some bad offensive plays here. I took Kafka. I took the call sheet. I'm going to call bad plays, and we're not going to score any points. We're going to lose, right? We're going to go 4, and what would that be? We're going to go 4-13, get a top 5 pick, and we'll be good. That's not happening. Everybody in that Giants organization is lacing them up the final 5 weeks to win a football game. So it doesn't matter if you hope or whatever. It's out of everybody's hands. It's going to be won or lost on the field. Doesn't matter. As I said, what I like to do is can you end on a high note? Because it doesn't matter. I mean, you get a top 5 pick. Well, that's great. I mean, what happened with Evan Neal? We had a top 7 pick there. Let's get a top 7 pick. Okay, well, there you go. How's Evan Neal working out for you right now? Maybe the better days ahead, but as of right now, it hasn't turned out too well. Right? And you look at Daniel Jones, right? Top 6 pick. How's that work out for you so far? Not too good. So just because you get a top 5 pick doesn't necessarily mean, there's some guys coming out, like maybe a Marvin Harrison Jr., a couple of those tackles. The problem is that you got a couple of these, what I'm hearing, these blue chip tackles, a couple of the guy from Penn State and Alt from Notre Dame, like maybe kind of can't miss prospects, draft them and throw them at right tackle, right? And you got Andrew Thomas, and now you got your tackles. The problem is, what are you going to do with Neal? Right? So you're going to have to pass on possibly a tackle, plug and play tackle, who's going to not fix your offensive line, but really help your offensive line. But you might have to pass on him because you're giving Evan Neal another year. So, I mean, I said, they're going to pick where they're going to pick. It is what it is, And even if they're picking number 8, it doesn't mean they can't jump into the top 5 or so. Give up, doesn't mean that, right? Doesn't mean that. Right? They can also move back, pick up some more draft picks, right? It is what it is. I mean, all I try to do is I try to, hope they win. And, if we can go 3-2 out of these final 5 games, that's something to build on. 3-2 of these final 5, plus the 2 we just won. Hey, out of our last 7 games, we won 5. We won 5-2. Okay. All these injuries, 3rd string quarterback, we finished 5-2. Okay, so it gives you some hope for the following season. That's all. Said it doesn't matter if you hope they win or hope whatever. It's not gonna matter. It's going to be played out on the field, right? So you might as well hope for the best and hope we come out and get a victory, right? And look good. And I said, hey, you got to play the games. Who knows? Maybe we'll get our Christmas miracle, right? All the bad things that happened to us, right? This whole season, right? Maybe we get a little Christmas miracle. Maybe, just maybe, we can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and that would make my whole year. Especially if we can hurt their they're playoff. They're in the playoffs, but we heard their playoff rankings. Maybe knock them out of first place or something like that. Man, that'd be the greatest Christmas present of all. All right, guys. Well, it's been Joe. I know you're not here with me anymore, buddy. Good talking to you, Joe. Go Hawks, especially when you're playing the Eagles, buddy. Kick the crap out of them, buddy. Go Hawks. All right, guys. So it's been 1 hour and 5 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!